This is the training on the OVW special condition on workplace-related sexual misconduct and domestic violence and dating violence. This is a VAWA and SASP award condition. So grant recipients and subrecipients must have a written policy to address workplace-related incidents of sexual misconduct, domestic violence, and dating violence involving an employee, volunteer, consultant, or contractor. The policy must address allegations of workplace-related incidents of sexual misconduct, domestic violence, and dating violence by an employee, volunteer, consultant, or contractor. Must address workplace supports for employees, volunteers, consultants, or contractors who are victims of sexual misconduct, domestic violence, or dating violence, and adjudications that will result in an employee, volunteer, contractor, or consultant being prohibited from occupying positions that could undermine the ability of the recipient to carry out the grant-funded project. Some examples of violations of the policy or the special condition would include an employee, volunteer, consultant, or contractor, hereby known as worker, sexually assaults, stalks, sexually harasses, and or uses domestic or dating violence against another worker. A worker is bound by an order of protection or is subject to a civil or criminal action arising from an incident of violence, regardless of whether the victim is a worker of the subgrantee. A worker uses violence against any other person during a subgrantee sanctioned event, including informal social events that occur solely because of the attendee's relationship with the subgrantee. Something to mention, if a worker is adjudicated as having used violence, they should be prohibited from occupying positions that could undermine the ability of the subgrantee to carry out grant-funded projects. So the implementation of this policy. There are several steps that OVW recommends: to convene a working group, develop a purpose statement, customize persons covered and definitions, draft the policy, and identify and promote workplace and community supports. In convening a working group, who should be at the table? Management, legal, supervisors, human resources, contractor, volunteer, non-supervisors. Some example purpose statements may include support a comprehensive workplace education and training program to prevent violence, assure that a worker who uses violence is prohibited from occupying positions that could undermine grantee's mission, and institutionalize responsive policies and procedures to assist and support workers who are impacted by violence. Some example or model code of conduct: sexual misconduct prohibited because it undermines grantee's mission and purpose. The grantee is committed to safety and restoration, and workers are encouraged to report. Supervisors have a duty to report. Requests for reasonable accommodations are encouraged. Retaliation is prohibited, and termination is a consequence. Some things to think about and to take into consideration when drafting the policy: what constitutes an incident, what makes an incident workplace related, how are allegations lodged, what steps are taken after an allegation is lodged, what happens to a worker accused of violence while an allegation is under investigation, how is confidentiality protected, and what supports or flexibility should be available to victims. And then to identify and promote workplace and community supports. Some examples may be information about protections against retaliation, assistance in developing a workplace safety plan, process for requesting workplace flexibilities, and examples of available reasonable accommodations, which may include flexible scheduling and leave policies, adjustments to job site, and support in reporting to law enforcement if that's what the victim chooses to do, as well as a list of national hotlines, employee assistance programs, and local service providers. For additional information on implementation and resources and support, the www.workplacesrespond.org is a great resource. They have trainings, model policies on there. So please do go to that website and see what resources are available. If you would like to email Futures Without Violence, workplacerespond@futureswithoutviolence.org for some technical assistance. There's also a link to a model workplace policy provided by OVW. And of course, your VAWA and SASP program managers are available to help you as well.